Hey guys, part 4 of The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Okay, in this self-help book, we're talking about knocking down self-limiting beliefs. We are talking about expanding our minds into a different realm of perfection and abundance. Okay, support the book, okay? You can buy it. I'll put a link in the description. You can buy it on Amazon. Don't use my link. You can also get it from the library, and I'm pointing that way. I don't know which way my library is, but it's somewhere out there in the world because that's where I got it from, okay? The next topic, this one, it like kicked me in my teeth, and it really made me start to think about, like, what is it that I want in my life? And let's just talk about it. Let me just read it, okay? Fear is excitement without breath. Here's what this intriguing statement means. The very same mechanisms that produce excitement also produce fear, and any fear can be transformed into excitement by breathing fully with it. On the other hand, excitement turns into fear quickly if you hold your breath. When scared, most of us have a tendency to try to get rid of the feeling. We think we can get rid of it by denying or ignoring it, and we use holding our breath as a physical tool of denial. Man, denial is not just a river in Africa, right? Well, let's talk about denial for a second. Let's talk about the inability to face your fears, the inability to face who you really are, the inability to even start on the journey. I mean, if you're watching this and you're reading the book, then maybe you are like on this journey with me. But what I want to say is that being on a journey of self-discovery requires a lot of courage. Requires a lot of it. Because we think we know ourselves. We think we know who we are. We think we know how we act. We think we know. But there's a few pieces to the puzzle, okay? First is the way that we view ourselves, okay? Now, we view ourselves through the lens of society, through our parents, through our friends, through our job, through how much money we have, through our significant others, through our children. We view ourselves in relation to other people, okay? Now, is that really who you are? No, you're more than that. And you know what, if you watched my series on the untethered soul, we tried to unpack that, but that's like a heavy loaded subject in itself. But when you're looking at yourself, you have to basically fight all of those different layers of yourself to get to the core of who you really are. Like, you have to fight and wade through the muck of everything that you've ever thought about yourself. Like all the negative things you've said about yourself, all the positive things that like even the positive stuff, like you gotta detach from that too. So you have to really dig in like with a laser to get to the center of who you really are. And that can take, I don't know, maybe you can do it in 10 minutes. Maybe it takes you decades. For me, I'm on this journey of self-discovery, and I feel like, you know what, it's going to take me my whole life, because every time I uncover a layer, there's 10 more layers that are revealed. So it's not just hey, I looked in the mirror and yes, it's I have to look at myself as a function of who am I, okay? So that's the first piece. The second piece is, who do I want others to see me as? Because that's a piece of it too. Do I project myself as somebody kind, but in my head I'm talking shit? Like, am I somebody who gives freely and never keep anything for my own because I don't feel worthy, but I want you to have everything? Like, how am I in relation to other people? And with that comes really identifying, how do you feel when you're around people? Are you keeping secrets? Are you hiding things? Are you saying I'm fine when you're not fine? And there's polite society where like, you walk by somebody and you're like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm great. You're not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm like filing for bankruptcy. My husband just left me. Like, no, it's just like, what the fuck I'm saying is that, like, when you're having a legit conversation with somebody and you're just like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. But they're like, no, like, what's going on? Like, and do you hide So there's that piece. So there's the piece of how you view yourself, how you think others view you. And then the piece is, how do people actually view you? Now, how do you get that information? You ask them. You ask them, hey, what do you think about me? What do you think, like when you see me, what do you think about me? And if you want bonus points, what could I potentially work on? That throws people for a loop. Now, I try to get my husband to answer that, and he's like, oh no, you're not trapping me with that question, which leads me to believe there's a whole bunch of shit he thinks I need to work on. But anyways, point being that, like, when you ask people in earnest with a sincere, hey, I'm on this self-discovery journey, and I want to reveal the places where I need help. I want to reveal the things that I need to work on. I want to reveal those parts of me that maybe I'm too blind to see, but others can see it. Would you be willing to share that with me? What you might get is like you would not even believe the things that my friends have told me that I never would have gotten. Like, for one, you know, I used to have Instagram. I no longer have it. But on Instagram, I used to post all my like trip pictures. Like, I would be traveling around the world. I would be doing this. I'd be doing that. And my friend was like, you know, sometimes it comes across as a little bit show-offy. And I'm like, huh. I never would have like pictured that. But then what that inspired me to do was to really take a look at, why am I showing these pictures? What is it that I'm trying to convey? Turns out, yeah, I was trying to show off. Because I felt like, as an influencer, which I was like a terrible influencer, y'all, like failed career there. Point being is that, like, what I thought was an influencer was like, hey, look at my fabulous life. Look at what I'm doing. Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to hire me? Like, it was such a warped and twisted way to think about things. But I never would have thought that, because I thought I was just playing the game, right? I was showing people, hey, you can live a fabulous life too. If you are on this journey of self-discovery because you're free from, you know, these self-limiting beliefs and, you know, denying yourself these things. And so in my head, it was an attempt to show off, but it came from a place of, you know, like, I want to show you my life is good, and because I don't think you'll take my word for it. And so there was a lot of that. And so when my friend said that, it hurt a little bit, and a part of me wanted to be like, well, that's because you just want to be like me. No, I didn't want to be like that. I love my friends. Yet when they told me that, there was a sense of, what? Like, what are you talking about? No way. Started journaling about it, started really digging into, why do I do these things? And there was a little bit of that. There was a little bit. Ultimately, that was a catalyst for me actually examining why I even have Instagram. And because of that, it led to me, like, even just getting off a few months after we had that conversation. But that's a whole other thing. Point being is that I don't even know what the point of this was. Oh yeah, we were talking about fear and excitement. I think I totally am not even talking about. Oh yeah, it's the denial part of it. It's this idea that you have to like really dig in there. And, you know, actually, just as an aside, fear also comes up when you're at the gym. I don't know why I have to share this. I don't know why this is coming up, but this is coming up for me. So maybe you have to hear this if you've watched this far. But fear also comes up at the gym. It comes up as your heart racing, sweating, and you feel like I can't go on. But if you learn to relax into that breathing, if you learn to relax into the heart palpitation, it'll level off after about 3 minutes. Like, say you're like jogging on the treadmill. That first 3 to 5 minutes are fucking brutal. But once you get into a rhythm at 3 to 5 minutes and you get into like a good elevated heart rate that's steady, you're gonna see that you can go far. But you have to get over that initial shock of like the elevation of your heart rate, of the secretion of the sweat. Like, you have to get over that initial scary hump, because that's fear. It's triggering fear. Those like physical reactions that you're having are fear. It's all fear. Think about it. Again, I don't know why I had to mention that, but I had to mention that. Okay, guys, The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks, buy the book. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'm going to put a link to my book in the description, because journaling, prayer, and meditation has transformed my life. And I'm also going to put a link to my podcast down there too. I mean, you can watch it here on YouTube, but if you're driving and you want some Andy on the road, that's your best bet, is my Spotify. Okay, guys, love you. Bye.